everyone and welcome back to my channel. This is Glossy Philosophy. My name is Jansen Binman. Make sure that you are subscribed to this channel. Give this video a thumbs up because today we are talking all things leopard, cheetah, animal print, so stay tuned. I don't know about you, but this year I am more focused on sustainability and choosing pieces more carefully than I have been in the past few years. And one of those things that can really make a wardrobe kind of stand out, feel a little bit more your own, is mixing in color, pattern, texture, all of those things. And I love that we can do that with an animal print. For me, I am personally really drawn to leopard and cheetah print, but for you, it might be snakeskin, it might be zebra print. So whatever print you feel really drawn to, hone in on that and just use these rules and apply them to your own personal print. We are going to start with kind of the easiest way of getting into an animal print with the use of accessories. Now, accessories can be a bag, it can be a belt, it can be shoes, it can even be a piece of jewelry. For this first outfit, I've chosen to go with a belt. The other reason I really like a cheetah or a leopard print is because it has a lot of neutral tones in there. So even though we're getting that visual interest, that visual pop from the pattern, we are also getting a neutral hit, which means as we go into spring, as we go into summer, we can still play with these things. As we go into fall and winter, it also plays nicely with more of the darker neutrals. So I've chosen these bright orange pants from Ann Taylor, and I think they're really, really fun. But to kind of class them up a little bit, I can go with a brown belt or I can go with a cheetah belt. And I'm keeping it very simple because obviously the pant color is pretty loud. So I don't want to go too loud on top, although I could do a monochromatic moment here if I wanted to. But I'm sticking with just a really nice cream blouse with a V-neck so I can have a little bit of jewelry. The belt isn't too loud, the pattern isn't too loud that it makes me feel like I can't do some chunky jewelry either on my hands or some delicate jewelry on my necklace. Now, if you're not a belt person or you do want to go with more of a neutral belt and you're more of an adventurous shoe gal, don't be afraid to buy your favorite shoes in that animal print because as long as you're just pulling those same tones, that works really well. And it's really fun to just see kind of a pop peeking out either from a skirt, a dress, or longer dress pants. Now this outfit, because we've added some personal touches with the belt or with the shoes, can be worn to work, it can be worn on a date, it can be worn to an event, it can be worn just grabbing coffee with a friend. So I love that we are taking an otherwise kind of basic, everyday, business casual outfit, adding a pop of fun with the belt, and making it a little bit more our own. The next way you can add in an animal print is going to be just a little bit on your top or your bottom. We're not going full head to toe here, we're just adding a little pop. So again, I've chosen a brighter color because I want to get a little bit more color into my wardrobe. I've been going very neutral the last few years and I'm really creating some color. So this shirt will not only layer underneath really well, but when I take my jacket off, I have this little hit of leopard, which I think is so fun. It's unexpected and it's also in a different texture. It's not just printed onto the tee. So it has a little bit of texture, it has a little bit of that visual interest. Again, I want the shirt and the little leopard heart to speak for itself. So I'm pairing it back to a linen pencil skirt from Ann Taylor. Ann Taylor is a great place to look in their sales section, to look just in general for those basics, for those pencil skirts, for those dress pants, anything that you need to just complete an outfit. Ann Taylor is a great place to go, great quality, great price. And then you can go to some place like THREDUP and find really fun vintage J. Crew designs, which is exactly what I did. Now, you could add an extra pop of leopard here if you wanted to. Because the heart is so small, you could do some leopard shoes. I don't think that feels wackadoo or anything like that. You could also do a leopard bag. Just make sure that the patterns aren't competing with each other and everything looks really nice and cohesive. But again, this animal print is very neutral, and so it goes with lots and lots of different things. Another way, of course, is to do a little bit of a riff on the traditional animal print pattern. So this says cheetah print to me, even though it's basically just a bunch of dots. You could almost say like Yayoi Kusama did this one, right? Because it's lots of like drawn out polka dots. But it definitely has that animal print vibe. I personally have tried on cheetah and leopard print dresses, maxis, minis, all those things, and it just doesn't work for me. It doesn't feel like myself. I love a leopard print coat, but not for some reason a whole dress. This one, where it's just hinting at that pattern, it feels much more doable, feels much more wearable to myself. I know that I'm also drawn to more abstract prints, especially when they're hinting at florals and animal prints. So this works really well for me. And again, it's from THREDUP, so it's vintage, it's J. Crew, and the other thing that I really like about this is that even though the background is kind of like that sandy orange, the spots are not black. They're actually really dark navy blue. So that gives you lots of fun options with playing with your jewelry, playing with your shoes. You can keep it very neutral like I did in the modeling shots, or you can really have some fun with that navy blue and do pops, maybe with a jacket, or again, with your shoes, or even just painting your nails navy. All of those little details can really add personality to your outfits and can just make getting dressed a little bit more fun. Now the last way is going to be with some kind of a full-on pattern bottom. For me, I feel most comfortable in skirts, especially as we head into warmer weather. I really like skirts. I feel like I can mix and match a little bit better. I feel like it suits my body shape a little bit better than a pant. And again, I've tried on leopard pants and they just don't really go with my vibe. But a leopard skirt feels very 1940s, feels very vintage Hollywood, and I love it. So this, once again, is from THREDUP. This video is not sponsored by THREDUP, but I have been loving going on and checking out old vintage J. Crew, Jenna Lyons, pre-Jenna Lyons situations. There's so much on there. You have to check it out, and I do have a coupon code below. So I have paired this with 3 different tops and 3 different jackets. I will be posting that not only in the modeling shots, but also as a short on my channel. So make sure that you're watching those in between the longer styling videos. The first one is sometimes we feel like when we get something that is a little bit louder in a pattern, and this can be a floral, it can be an animal print, it can just be an abstract print. We kind of freak out, right? Because there's a couple different colors going on, even though they're neutral, and it feels like, what can we actually wear with this? You can absolutely pick out any of these colors that are in this skirt and wear them. That means whites, blacks, browns, creams, oranges, any of that. But you can also take kind of the sister color and go the opposite, or get really close to the opposite. So something that works really, really well with leopard print is going to be an olive green. Now, you might be terrified of green. I know growing up, my grandma and my mom have both been like, green is kind of scary color. You just have to find the right undertone for you, which does mean that you have to try on quite a few options. But I have found that an olive green and leopard print just is the chef's kiss. It is a gorgeous and glorious combination, and I feel like if you can find that right olive green, it just really brightens the face. It gives you just a little bit more than a neutral top would. So this looks phenomenal, but you can also, if it's a little bit cooler, which of course it is because it's just spring, you can add in another pop of that neutral. So you can go with more of like a khaki or a trench coat, something to wear on top for those chillier days, or maybe your office is a little bit chillier, or you just run a little bit cooler. Now we can take that idea of the olive top and we can go quite a bit brighter. I have discovered that this bright, bright green is a really great color for me. So that's something else that you want to keep in mind. What are the colors that look phenomenal on you, no matter what kind of makeup you've got going on? What just brightens your face, brightens your skin tone? And you want to try to match that and just see if it works with any of your animal prints, your floral prints, your abstract prints, because it is kind of a game changer. It's like unexpected. It's really fun. And it says, hi, I have a personality and I'm not not just wearing something from a catalog, which again, no shame, but it is a little bit more fun to have your own spin on things. You can take something like a ladylike jacket and pair this on top of that really bright top, and all of a sudden it becomes like a show-stopping outfit. And I mean, we're really just talking about a really bright tee in either, you know, like a silk or a polyester or whatever your wallet affords you, and then a black ladylike jacket with an animal print skirt. It is glorious and super, super fun, and you're having fun getting dressed in the morning. And again, you're also saying that you have something to say to the world. Now, if you want to go a little bit more casual, I do like to mix up a more formal skirt with something a little bit more casual. I can do that with just a plain white tee. That's a great way to go. But I can also do it with a graphic tee. I think graphic tees are always really, really fun. Find ones that feel like they're saying something that you're interested in saying or that are funny to you, but also make sure that when you put a jacket on, the graphic looks good still, because there's a lot of graphics that are either too big so that when you put the jacket on it doesn't read very well. It almost has to center through the center of the body in order to work well, especially if you run colder and you're wearing sweaters or jackets on top. So this shirt I think is really fun because we're playing on a brighter orange, right? This is kind of like a tangerine orange, but it's got a little hit of a blue. So all of these colors work together. We have kind of a big graphic going on, and we have kind of a big animal print. So they could be fighting against each other. But because this blue is so faded, it doesn't feel overwhelming. However, if it does feel overwhelming to you, try putting a jacket on top. Now this is a little bit more of like an asymmetrical cream jacket from BLANKNYC, and all of a sudden it creates shape, it creates interest, it creates a lot of different movement in the outfit, because this is a very ladylike A-line skirt that just has a pattern on it. And then we pair it with a really fun color, and then we pair it back to a neutral, and all of a sudden, you can see in the modeling shots, it just feels, again, very unique, very personal, and it says that you have something to say. Now, we don't have to go with the traditional colors when it comes to an animal print. We can absolutely play outside of the bounds. So I've also found this cheetah print skirt, again from THREDUP, that is more based in that olive green and black. And this has been really fun to mix and match, again, with graphic tees, with plain t-shirts, and also with sweaters, because it is still a very neutral pattern, but it has just a little twist to it. So those are my recommendations for how to style your animal prints. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I love an animal print. I think it works all year round. All you have to do is just change your textures that you're wearing on top or the bottom, maybe add a jacket, take a jacket away, play with your colors, and you are good to go for a full year and beyond. I do fashion videos every Wednesday, beauty videos every Friday. Make sure you are tuning into Instagram and watching the shorts in between for more outfit inspiration to make your life a little bit easier and a little bit more glossy. And I'll see you very soon. Bye.